So Bellator 206 was this weekend, and it was definitely one of their better cards. I don't usually watch a lot of Bellator. I actually sat through and watched most of this. I even watched some of the prelims just to, check out what happened. I was excited to see about Aaron Pico, which he ended up winning his decision. There were a couple other interesting ones. Arlene Blinko, I did not know who she was. I watched a little bit of her fight just because it was on, and she ended up winning with a slam. It was really crazy. Slammed the girl in the back of her neck, and then finished with punches after she just curled up. So it was some pretty cool fights on there. I also saw what to do with green hair. Cass Bell. Yeah, he ended up getting that armbar in round 2. That was a good one. I was surprised by that. So the main card was where it was at. This is one of probably Bellator's best main card. I mean, in a long time, definitely of this year. So, kudos to them. Pull out all the stops. You got Gaston Bolaños versus Isidro Gutierrez. I knew Bolaños was going to win. This was an easy one. Isidro Gutierrez was fine. He was, 3-3? So it just doesn't have the level competition that Gaston Bolaños does. He's got that Muay Thai background, the kickboxing background with Bellator. He's just had a lot of fights. He's way better technique wise at the stand-up, in the kickboxing range, in the Muay Thai. In the clinch, you could see a couple problems in the first round with him not really knowing not that he didn't know what to do, just trying to figure it out, get a handle there. So once he gets that clinch game going, I think it'll be a lot better. And then once he gets in with the wrestling, mixing that in a little bit more, that'll be interesting. Now, we didn't really get to see any ground game. Round 2, he took out Isidro with was it like a left hook. He went down, the guy turtled up, and he just followed him up with strikes from there. So TKO in that second round. So we didn't get to see any real wrestling, any real jiu-jitsu, anything like that. So we don't know what Gaston's got there. But dude, awesome low leg kicks, head kicks. Tried spinning elbows and stuff. Gutierrez knew it was coming, so he didn't really get hit with those. But so Carrie Taylor Melendez won her fight. That was a pretty good fight. It went to decision. She won a split decision. I didn't think it was as close, but I don't know. Zimmerman was shooting for a lot of triangles and stuff off her back. There was one triangle that was so locked in. She had the angle cut right. I felt like she had a good enough bite with her. Maybe she didn't, but she had that angle cut. So I was getting so worried. I was like, no, Carrie, get out. And I mean, that other girl they said was a white belt in jiu-jitsu, so it's probably that. She probably could have finished it because that was such a deep try. It was in. She was turned. She had the leg hooked with that right arm. Yeah. So Carrie Taylor Melendez, good for her. Her striking was definitely way better. That girl just kind of held on to her. Zimmerman, she just held on to Melendez. So, it was good for Melendez. We'll see what else she does. Wow. Aaron Pico and Leandro Higo. This was the best, most important fight of the card, easily. Aaron Pico, the prospect, and I talked about him in my preview video, but this was just way more than I expected out of him. Leandro Higo's got, four times the experience that Pico had. Pico's 4-1. A guy with 5 fights should not be walking through title contenders with 20 fights on their record that easily. That's insane. Nothing against Leandro Higo. He is great. He's been a title contender, I think, twice, or 2 of his losses were against just great guys. And Aaron Pico smashed him. He had him against the cage, covering up, just taking crazy shots from Pico. He hit him with like an overhand right and then a left, and he dropped, tried to get back up. My favorite part of Aaron's fight and the way he fights, especially as such a young guy, is he's patient. He's not hunting for those knockouts. Even though he's getting them, he's slow. He hits them, he waits to see what his opponent does, see how shaky they are. I mean, Leandro was falling over, so Aaron just had to be slow. Not slow, meticulous, methodical. Do things with a reason, Don't just run after him and get hit by something on accident. So, hit him with a big elbow, hit him with a big left hook. And one of the other things about Aaron Pico is his dedication and how hard he hits to the body shots. Most people, you hit body shots to wear out their opponent for a while so that eventually they're tired by round 2 or 3. They always say investing in the body shots. I'm trying to think of who else does that. Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's great at investing in the body so that in the later rounds they're tired, they're slower. That's not what Aaron Pico does. He doesn't care about making it to round 2 or 3 and you getting tired. Aaron Pico's hitting you in the liver and in the body to shut you down. It's like Boss Rutan, where he just wants to punch through your liver. So Aaron Pico's one of the best prospects ever. I'm gonna say right there with John Jones. So Aaron Pico, dude, look out for him. Then you had the Douglas Lima Andre Koreshkov fight. That was such a great fight. I figured it would be. There were times where it was a little slow. The crowd was booing them. They were kind of stuck in the clinch a lot. It was Koreshkov trying to grapple. He realized that Douglas Lima had gotten a lot better in this fight than their last fight. He's moving a lot. He was using a lot of kicks. He was anticipating Koreshkov's takedown attempts, his any of his moves. He kind of figured. Koreshkov did come out with a crazy spin kick. I don't think he was expecting that one. But Lima's great leg kicks the whole fight. He was landing a lot of good shots. It went all the way to the 5th round, and I think Lima caught him, and then Koreshkov missed one. He ended up taking his back, getting the hooks in, and just sinking in a rear naked choke. It was great. Lima showed that he's not only as good, better on the feet than Koreshkov through most of the fight. Hitting Koreshkov with those awesome body shots. Those body kicks were great. Those leg kicks were killer. Threw some head kicks. None of them really landed that much, but just changing it up, doing all these things, man. Douglas Lima, man, that guy. I'd love for him to come back over to the UFC and for him to really do some good work over here, because he's a phenomenal athlete, great martial artist. His jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. He held his own against Rory for a while. His leg kicks, and he's always growing, always changing, always getting better. The first Koreshkov fight, Koreshkov handily won. The second one, Koreshkov was winning until Douglas Lima got the win. This third one, Douglas Lima dominated. It just shows that he's getting better every fight. He's always growing. So Douglas Lima moves on in the welterweight Grand Prix. He beat Andre Koreshkov, so he will get the winner of Paul Daly versus MVP. That's a tough one. I think I got him MVP, but he does not have the experience of Paul Daly, and Paul Daly hits hard. So does MVP, and he's a great boxer. I'm gonna go with MVP on that one, I think. So I think it'll be Douglas Lima MVP. I got Douglas Lima on that fight, and then Douglas Lima versus Paul Daly. I got Douglas Lima there too. I think Lima will be able to get both of these guys. I think he's gonna make it to the end of this tournament. So it'll end up being Douglas Lima versus one of the other 4. Neiman Gracie, Ed Ruth. I gotta root for the jiu-jitsu guy. Neiman Gracie, just because I do jiu-jitsu primarily. But Ed Ruth, dude, that guy's phenomenal wrestler. That's a tough one. I actually think I might go Ed Ruth. I'm rooting for Neiman Gracie, but I think Ed Ruth's gonna win that one. Rory John Fitch, Rory easily. So Rory Macdonald versus Ed Ruth. Oh, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna have Rory win that one, I think. But man, that'd be great if Ed Ruth won that. He doesn't have as many fights. I think he's like 6-0, something like that. Not that many fights compared to the rest of these guys, but his wrestling background should be able to carry him through this. And then it'll end up being Lima, I think, versus Ed Ruth or Rory Macdonald for the title. Wow, that's a great tournament. That is a great tournament. Lima, Rory for the rematch. And I like Lima's chances on that one with what I was saying with him getting better. And if this tournament, if that's going to be towards the end of the year, no, it's going to be start of next year. Neiman Gracie's fighting Saturday, the December 15th with Ed Ruth. Yeah. This is a great tournament. So look out for Douglas Lima, one step closer to that $1 million. Then we had Rampage Jackson versus Vanderlei Silva. 4. Ended in second round TKO for Rampage. I guessed first round KO, and I was kind of upset when it got past the first round. I went, oh no, please don't let this go all night. But he didn't. Rampage waiting for Silva to throw that big wild overhand right, and just looking to counter off it. He kept throwing that left hook, right cross, left hook, the same combo. He was just waiting for Vanderlei to throw one of those windmill punches, and be able to counter over it. And I mean, he kind of did. He backed him up against the cage, waited for Vanderlei to throw. They kind of threw a couple things and then caught him with that big overhand right. He was looking for that hook because I think that's what he caught him with before, but he got him with that overhand right. And that was good. That was a good win for Rampage. I don't know what's in the future for him or Vanderlei. I hope this is his last fight, but Vanderlei got a win. I mean, he lost against King Mo pretty recently. He lost against Chael. So I don't really know. I'm sure he's just here for the big paydays. Then the main event, Gegard Mousasi, Rory Macdonald, the super fight. I think I called it second round TKO, Gegard Mousasi. He beat Rory with he was just, if not better, as good on the feet as Rory, right? He had a great jab that kept Rory back. He kept backing him up, kept in his face. Leg kicks, he has phenomenal leg kicks too. So he's backing up Rory, he's keeping him on his back toes, and then he ends up getting him on the ground. So the first round I gave to Gegard for sure. Gegard was cracking with that leg kick, keeping that stiff jab right in Rory's face. Rory's nose was bleeding really bad by the second round. So second round came, and Rory's taking more shots, taking those jabs, those leg kicks, and Rory ended up going for a takedown. He ended up on his back. He was trying some jiu-jitsu. It's funny is Gegard landed in his guard, and he knew that Rory was pulling guard, so that he slid that leg through right as he was falling, slid that knee through. He was in half guard, which I figured was going to be for a while just because of Rory's really good jiu-jitsu and his great guard. But man, Mousasi just sliced through his guard, moved in the top mount, got mount, and it was over. I mean, he just landed down, rained down punches until Rory tapped, which is not what I want to see from Rory, man. I don't want to see him get any more damage. Not that he didn't do great. I think Mousasi's just a little too big for him. That weight class isn't meant for him. But I don't want to see him take any more damage. He's got a long career ahead of him. He's in his early 20s or late 20s. He's just had so many wars, and he's got to go through this whole tournament now. This isn't what I wanted. I would hoped for a quick submission than this. Now Rory's got to go through this whole competition. He just got jacked up. It's worth mentioning after the fight, he said he froze, that he got to the cage and he just wasn't feeling it. He froze. It wasn't his night. So, maybe chalk it up to that. But Gegard winning, retaining his 185 belt. I know Gegard also said something about wanting to retire soon, so that'd be something to look out for. I think he said something about fighting one of my favorite Bellator fighters, Rafael Lovato Jr. Him from the jiu-jitsu world. Maybe he's one of the most accomplished American grapplers like ever. He's great at jiu-jitsu. He's really bringing together his MMA game. It reminds me a little bit of Brian Ortega in that he pressures them forward with his boxing and his hard shots until they start shooting on him or going for other things. And it's his jiu-jitsu game is just levels above everybody else there. So that'd be interesting. I'd like to see that fight a lot. I don't know who I got. I'm rooting for Rafael Lovato Jr. already, just because I've met him and I root for anybody that I've met before. So Rafael, that'd be a great fight for him. But Gegard, I don't think he has too many left in him. But that was a great win for Gegard. And then Rory, got to get back to it. He's got that tournament to look out for. Who knows when he's going to fight John Fitch. I'm sure that's going to be like the last fight of the tournament, just because he's got to heal up, get back and ready, then make the weight cut back down to 170. That's crazy. But yeah, that was Bellator 206. Great card. I'm looking forward to the next one. But next week, Conor McGregor, Khabib. Whew, I can't wait. I've got a video in the works for that one. Preview video, highlights, all that stuff, picks, predictions. So check that out. That'll be coming later this week on the YouTube channel. So please like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Follow me on Facebook, the Undercard MMA. You can look there everywhere. That's on all social media. So thanks.